Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. At the beginning, you will get a heavy pupil and marry a stunning female emperor. Chapter 51. When they saw the person coming, all the officials just felt that they should get out of the way. Because the person who came was the prince of their Wu kingdom, the big brother of the empress. They can't be blamed. Master Martial King. Although the high priest is now in control of the power, he still addresses this person respectfully when facing this person. No way, although this Martial King is a waste, none of the people behind him who support him are waste. My little sister's decision-making has become more and more confused over the years. It is difficult for this king not to wonder if she has done something stupid again and handed herself over to some rubbish. Women can't govern, and they are easy to be emotional. Why doesn't the father understand this kind of thing? As soon as Lord Martial King said this, everyone around him was silent. Obviously, everyone didn't quite believe the mistakes made by the high priest. That's the caretaker of the royal family's scarlet, who has been guarding it for thousands of years without any problems. Too hard to believe. Master Martial King, please respect yourself, you have to understand who you are now. Your Majesty's right or wrong is not something you can judge with a single word. The high priest frowned. She looks angry on the surface, but she actually wants to divert everyone's attention. Don't stare at the scarlet thing. Because only she knew that the Empress went to Daxia with Holy Maiden. She didn't know what happened, but the Empress chose her comrades so hastily. But she knew that this matter must not be known to these people in front of her. Otherwise, Wu Kingdom will really be in chaos. Isn't what this king said wrong? I want to break through the Saint Realm by closed-door training. I can't control it, but handing over the power to you, not this king, is a serious mistake. The high priest narrowed his eyes. Martial King called himself a girl in front of so many people. This is disrespect to the person in power, and even more disrespect to the Empress. Master Martial King, you have to know who you are talking to now. What? Angry? Still want to do it? Lord Martial King looked at the high priest fearlessly, and asked provocatively. The high priest is the cultivation base of the quasi-sage. He is not an opponent, but behind him is the first powerhouse in Wu country. So he is not afraid of anything. Also, our holy maiden Mu Jiaoshui, such a talented person, looks even more beautiful, you actually sent her out to kiss, this is you who is in power. Confused decision to make. Quote, Lord Martial King looked hysterical, and the officials around were afraid to speak. Everyone knows that although this Martial King is over 1,000 years old, he has always been very persistent in beauty. A beauty like Mu Jiaoshui, the moment he was on the beauty list, he had already taken his fancy. In addition, Mu Jiaoshui still belongs to Wu Kingdom. So even if this Martial King didn't get any answer, he had already regarded Mu Jiaoshui as his own ban. When the high priest announced to let Mu Jiaoshui marry, the one who held the biggest objection was the Martial King. I have already explained that this is His Majesty's will before the closed-door training, I just execute it. Although the high priest was angry in his heart, he still endured nausea and continued to talk with the Martial King when he saw that he had successfully diverted his attention. HMPH. This king little sister means to let Mu Jiaoshui and Prince Qin Chen of the Daxia royal family marry. If they don't succeed, they should come back. You guys are so lucky to let Holy Maiden marry an unknown person. When Lord Martial King said this, he became even more angry. He had already made inquiries, that Qin Chen from Daxia was a cultivation maniac and had no intention of marrying. I thought that the marriage would fail like this. But I never expected that Qin Bei would kill Qin Bei halfway. Not only married Holy Maiden, but also the maid next to Holy Maiden. If it wasn't for the woman he liked, Martial King felt that he and Qin Bei would definitely become good friends. And now, the two are destined to be enemies forever. Master Martial King, do you agree with what you said? The high priest smiled lightly, his tone somewhat mocking. Before Holy Maiden married this Prince Qin Bei, we really didn't know this person, but later things proved that we had a good vision with the people in the embassy. Number one in the cultivation world, such a genius is close to our country, isn't it better than that Prince Qin Chen? To say that this high priest is very confident. At the same time, I also envy the royal family of Daxia in my heart, which is really talented. Humph, it's just a 20-year-old person who is still in the body tempering realm, so what if he can rank first in the combat power rankings? Could he still challenge the immortals with the strength of the body-tempering realm? The combat power is also in vain. Martial King said with a cold snort. And he's just number 1 at a realm. That's it. Is it still possible to make every realm rank first? He is not the owner of the sacred body. Don't you think that there are people who can match the sacred body with the body of a mortal? It's just a flash in the pan. Quote. Lord Martial King continued. The confidence to speak is also very strong. And the question about Qin Bei talent is not just that he thinks so, in fact, the whole Wu country thinks so. Including the ministers standing below. They are all worried about this problem. What's the use of being stronger? If the cultivation talent is not good, and you cannot become an immortal for life, then your fighting strength is only the same as the realm. Kangzhou continent is full of strong players, and there is no shortage of low-level players with strong combat power. Or the cultivation speed is not good. Just like Qin Bei now. All geniuses at the same age as him are already in the gold core realm, and even worse, they are already nascent soul. And Qin Bei, who is number 1 in the combat power list, is nothing but body-tempering realm. This is indeed a problem for Qin Bei. But there is no way, the predecessor is indeed a mediocre cultivation talent. He also just crossed over, and the power of the system has not really shown. However, in such a short period of time, he has reached the peak of qi refining, and he is about to break through foundation establishment realm, which is definitely the top in the field of cultivation. The most important thing is that Qin Bei's improvement did not help him grow. Instead, he laid a solid foundation and was stronger than anyone else. In the entire cultivation world, there are not many who can achieve rapid improvement without destroying the foundation. Seeing the ministers look at him, the high priest understood that these people agreed with what Lord Martial King said. They all think that the marriage with Daxia is not careful enough. But she couldn't avoid this question, because everything Martial King said was the truth. Just in time, Langya Pavilion has given news. Today, there will be major changes in the Qi Refining Realm Battle Power List and the Genius List. Let's take a look. The genius you are talking about can't be ranked in the Genius List. If not, the mistake of this decision is self-evident. In this case, I hope that the High Priest can discuss with the cabinet when he announces important decisions in the future, rather than letting you decide everything. At this moment, Lord Martial King finally showed his own fangs. What he wants is to divide the power of the High Priest during Jizuyu's closed-door training, or even to directly vacate the High Priest. And now is the first step. Let ministers doubt each other's decision-making ability. Qiaotang is playing tricks. None of the ministers present were vegetarians, and they could all see that this was the excuse for Lord Martial King to decentralize. After all, half of the cabinet supports him. However, knowing that the ministers present are also willing to see such a thing happen. When Jizuyu first ascended the throne, he was opposed by most of the courtiers. It's just that Jizuyu's iron-blooded tactics caused the opposition ministers to die in batches, and the remaining ones were those that Jizuyu wanted to get rid of but did not dare to do it. Now, if Lord Martial King can take advantage of Jizuyu's closed-door training to gain power, they will be happy too. How could the High Priest fail to see the thoughts of these people? I only hate that although the Empress has handed over power to her, she is subject to checks and balances everywhere in her use, and there is no way to do anything with these ministers. There is no way to deal with this arrogant Martial King. Okay, if it's true as Lord Martial King said, this northern prince can't even enter the talent list, then there is indeed a problem with the decision to marry this time. However, if the northern prince is not only powerful, but also has excellent talent, then I hope that Lord Martial King can carry out His Majesty's will before closed-door training and establish a teleportation formation with the Great Shah border. I hope you can do it as soon as possible. The High Priest said with an ugly expression. She is a powerful person, and her orders have not been carried out. If you want to execute, you can also exchange it in this way of gambling. Simply blatant humiliation. If this is changed to Da Shah and Emperor Shah's order is issued, whoever dares to disobey, will be able to see this person's body the next day. It is a pity that Wu Guo has a shallow foundation, and those in power do not have the strength and courage of Emperor Shah. Ha ha ha, okay, the teleportation array has been built all the time, but our country is not strong enough, of course it can't be as fast as Daxia. Of course, after this incident, this king will let them speed up the progress, and this king will also personally go to supervise. Marshal King said with a smile. The plan worked, and he was very pleased. He specially asked someone to inquire about this northern prince. 20 years old and still at body tempering realm. Even if the opponent really wants to achieve high combat power in the body tempering realm, it is absolutely impossible to stay in the body tempering realm at the age of 20. Just like the first place in the body tempering realm battle list. In order to surpass the past and present, the other party deliberately struggled in the body tempering realm for 2 years, and finally became a combat power list first. But this person was only 8 years old when he broke through chi refining. 20 years old. More than 10 years of light and shadow. For the old monsters of thousands and tens of thousands of years old, it is just a time to shut up. But for young cultivators, before the age of 100 is the peak period of cultivation speed progress. No one dares to waste 20 years just for the so-called transcendence of past and present. Even the reincarnation of Saint could not have such daring. So in Lord Marshal King's view, this northern prince just got some opportunities and became famous because of his heaven-defying strength in the body tempering realm. As for the cultivation talent, it is still the ordinary person. This can be seen from the news that the northern prince still has no news of the other party's breakthrough chi refining after he became famous. The other party has become the first in the ancient and modern body tempering realm battle power list, but there is still no breakthrough. It is definitely not as simple as not wanting to break through. It is absolutely impossible to break through, talent can't. This is not just the idea of Marshal King, most cultivators think so. Because this idea is a normal cultivator's idea. No one could have guessed that Qin was not satisfied with being the number one in the body tempering realm ancient and modern combat power list, and he had to break through himself. This kind of crazy idea may be made by a traveler like Qin. Come here, bring jade slip from Langya Pavilion. The high priest coldly ordered. Although it is a gamble, she is also very confident. Because she unconditionally believes in Ji Zuyu. The Empress valued Mu Jiaoshui so much, she did not believe that the Empress would find someone who could not move forward with Mu Jiaoshui. What's more, the Empress is now married to this northern prince. That man definitely has his special qualities. The high priest even suspected that the comrade chosen by the Empress was the northern prince. Soon, a jade slip belonging to Langya Pavilion was delivered to the high priest. Everyone stared nervously, and the next result was related to the ownership of Wu Guo's decision-making power in the future. Kangzhou Mainland Talent List. Of all the cultivators in the entire Kangzhou continent, only 100 people can enter this list. The fierce competition is self-evident. The ranking of the genius list is determined by the comprehensive cultivation speed of the cultivator. The definition of this is very vague, and it is also the most popular in Langya Pavilion's list. A controversial list. Because some cultivators suddenly got the chance, the cultivation base made rapid progress in an instant. How does this compare to other cultivators who have been practicing ascetic all the way? Therefore, Langya Pavilion changed the genius list. Not only depends on the cultivation speed, but also depends on the opportunity and the cultivator's comprehension ability. The comprehension ability includes the cultivation technique and supernatural power that the cultivator comprehends. For example, under the same conditions, the first cultivator took 3 days to comprehend the cultivation technique, but the second cultivator took 5 days. That first ranking naturally precedes the second. It is precisely because of the addition of comprehensive ability that the genius list has become the list that everyone pays the most attention to. Even more attention than the battle power list. And getting into the talent list is even more difficult. After all, the power list is only a comparison with realm. The talent list is all cultivators under the age of 100 to compete for these 100 places. Ha ha ha, don't look at it, it's impossible for this North Prince to be on the talent list. 20-year-old body tempering realm, let alone the top 100, even the top 1 million won't make it. Lord Marshal King sneered when he saw the high priest looking for the Prince of North on the talent ranking. My country's number 1 holy maiden is only 50th on this list. What does he take? Lord Marshal King wanted to sneer with pride, but he suddenly realized that the surrounding atmosphere was a little wrong. Everyone stared intently at the image projected by the jade slip in the hands of the high priest. Everyone's face was full of disbelief. The 30th place in the genius list, Qin Bei, the northern prince of the royal family of Daxia. How is this possible? I'm getting old. My eyes are blurry. Ranked 30th. How is this possible? Our holy maiden is only ranked 50th. Is this Langya Pavilion crazy? Could it be that the prince of the north is still a hidden genius, who has been fascinated by the fact that he was not ready to emerge until he married holy maiden? High priest, look at the comments given by Langya Pavilion. Someone reminded. No matter which list name changes, Langya Pavilion will give its own comments and reasons. Because only sufficient reasons can convince people. Otherwise, Langya Pavilion would not have such a high evaluation in the hearts of many cultivators. After hearing this, the high priest hurriedly clicked on the 30th place on the talent list, and then saw a series of comments on Qin Bei's current situation. Qin Bei, Prince of Daxia, awarded the title of Prince of Three Seals, 20 years old. The previous ones were all introductions to Qin Bei. Everyone ignored the past and mainly looked at the evaluation given by Langya Pavilion. The reasons for this ranking are as follows. 1. As soon as he broke through the Qi refining realm, he reached the peak of Qi refining and ranked first in the Qi refining realm combat power list. 2. The foundation establishment must be completed within a month, and his younger brother found Heavenly Dao spiritual Qi for him in the foundation establishment secret realm, so he must be able to Heavenly Dao foundation establishment. 3. Qin Bei realized a magical power of law in the body tempering realm, and it is extremely difficult to comprehend the magical power of the Snow Kingdom, extreme cold gaze. Only one person can do it. 4. Although it has not been confirmed, Qin Bei must have a cultivation sacred body, and the rarity may not be lower than that of the Chaos Dao body. Our opinion. The ability to comprehend is extremely high. If Qin Bei can be identified as to what cultivation sacred body he possesses, his ranking can be ranked in the top 10. But because he was only 20 years old, foundation establishment, cultivation talent is difficult to determine, so he cannot be ranked in the cultivation talent list. Everyone didn't know what to say after seeing this comment. Langya Pavilion actually makes undetermined comments, whether it is Heavenly Dao foundation establishment or cultivation sacred body. These are still uncertain factors. But Langya Pavilion has all been included. Even Qin Bei's cultivation speed could not be determined, so he directly placed him at the 30th position on the genius list. This is definitely a rare thing for Langya Pavilion. But it's worthy of what Qin Bei is doing now. Aside from the fact that the foundation establishment was only at the age of 20, whether it is an instant breakthrough to the peak of Qi refining or the comprehension of immortal magical powers, these are all existences that can be ranked in the top 5. What's more, Qin Bei not only ranked first in the body tempering realm battle power list, but now he has broken through Qi refining and is still ranked first. This seems to be a trend of domination. Ranking it at number 30 doesn't seem to be a problem. But they couldn't accept it for a while. A person who is only 20 years old at the foundation establishment can be ranked 30th. As for Holy Maiden, Mu Jiaoshui was already at the 7th stage of the Gold Core realm at the age of 18, but she could only rank at the 50th place. This is somewhat unacceptable to everyone. But the authority of Langya Pavilion was not easily overthrown by them, not to mention that the reasons given by Langya Pavilion were reasonable and reasonable. Master Martial King, how are you now? A smile finally appeared on the high priest's face. Sure enough, I did not believe in the wrong queen. The person who can marry even an empress will definitely not be an ordinary person. Humph, Martial King flicked his sleeves and left angrily. He didn't expect that there would be such a big loophole in own intelligence. Even the northern prince did not know that the extreme cold stare was an immortal supernatural power. Master Martial King, I hope you will remember your own promise. I hope that the teleportation formation will be fully built within half a year. Humph, I don't need this king. Remind you, quote, it's all gone, your majesty is in closed-door training, it's impossible to see you. The high priest spoke to the other officials. The high priest has already given the answer to Vermilion, although many officials think it is unreasonable. But now that Martial King is shriveled, they naturally don't touch the bad luck. Woo, watching everyone leave, the high priest finally breathed a sigh of relief. She lacks prestige, for fear that she will be unable to suppress these officials. But for now, all the results are good. After the establishment of the teleportation array, the border between the two countries has the ability to support each other. Looking down at the small country around the Wu country, it is necessary to think about whether or not to dare to do it. And things about the Empress Zhu Hong have not been exposed. She didn't know that there were spies from the Holy Devil Sovereign dynasty in Wu who started to inquire about the identity of Holy Maiden's maid. And the disappearance of Empress Zhu Hong seems to be closed in the court, but there is no guarantee that the minister will gossip out at any time. Inside the secret realm. Dage, can't we beg you? Our father and son are not young anymore, we can't stand such a toss. Dage, why don't you tell me, what demonic beasts are you looking for? Tell my brother, he will take you there, how about you? Two armor-piercing beasts, one big and one small, ran in front, turning to look at the human-shaped beasts who were chasing them and begging for mercy. That won't work. In this secret realm, you can fight two tier 4 demonic beasts at the same time, and the only ones who won't be suppressed by my cultivation body are the two of you. At this time, Qin Bei was holding a tree trunk with a diameter of 1 meter in his hand, and smashed it at the two armor-piercing beasts in front of him. Ah! With two screams, the two armor-piercing beasts were smashed into the ground again. Both of them were going to cry out to Qin Bei. A few days ago, when the 4th Order Peak armor-piercing beast appeared, it was still able to press Qin Bei to fight. How majestic the two demons were when they were brought up. They returned all the anger that the little armor-piercing beast received in Qin Bei. Later Qin Bei escaped, and they thought that was the end of the matter. Who would have thought that Qin Bei appeared again today? Moreover, Qin Bei's strength has risen sharply this time, and he has already completed the foundation establishment. Not only that, Qin Bei even hit the foundation establishment realm 5th stage with the feedback from Zhenmo Tower. And Qin Bei also completed his own foundation establishment without any help from Heavenly Tao spiritual qi. As for strength, Qin Bei doesn't know how he compares to those from Heavenly Tao foundation establishment. But he was certain that it was impossible for the people from Heavenly Tao foundation establishment to press these two 4th order demonic beasts. Okay, don't hide, I'm leaving this secret realm today, and it will be difficult to meet again in the future. Qin Bei threw away the tree trunk in his hand, clapped his hands and said. After completing foundation establishment, he naturally. To get out of here. It's just because Jizuyu encountered a lot of difficulties in Heavenly Tao foundation establishment because of Wu Kingdom's special cultivation technique, so he only played with these two demonic beasts for a few days. It's really playing, because now Qin Bei's control of his own power has reached a perfect point. Even though he went to the foundation establishment 5th stage immediately after the foundation establishment, he was still able to control these forces perfectly. Really? The two armor-piercing beasts that had disappeared just now suddenly appeared from the ground, their eyes narrowed into crescent moons. Really? Why don't you go out with me? How about joining my northern prince's mansion? With your special abilities, it would be very good to be a messenger in the future. Qin Bei asked with a smile. Hey, no. We think this secret realm is pretty good. When are you leaving, Dage? We will send it to you. The two armor-piercing beasts hurriedly shook their short hands and refused. Qin Bei. Immediately, as soon as Qin Bei's voice fell, a streamer flew out from the canyon in the distance. After experiencing many difficulties, Jizuyu finally completed the Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment and came out. Qin Bei found that the blue sword that Jizuyu turned into was obviously more delicate and attractive than before. He couldn't help but want to play the sword. Let's go. The halo flashed, and Jizuyu's figure appeared. The pinnacle of foundation establishment. This. Qin Bei took Jizuyu's hand and instantly felt the opponent's strength. It has actually reached the peak of foundation establishment. After I broke through, I had feedback from the Demon Tower, but I only broke through 5th stage. Jizuyu actually broke through to the peak directly. I've been suppressing at the peak of Qi refining for a long time. In addition, I took the elixir after breaking through, so it's not surprising to reach the peak. Jizuyu said with a smile. When facing Qin Bei, she had gradually let go of her arrogance. When Jizuyu said this, Qin Bei was not surprised. Thinking about it again, after all, this is the recultivation of the Empress, who used to have a semi-sacred cultivation base, and there must be countless treasures on her body. After breaking through the gold core realm, cultivation base soared directly to the peak of gold core. Qinbei felt that he could accept it. Yes, let's go then. Outside world. After the list of Langya Pavilion was updated, the Northern Prince's mansion was surrounded by people again. This time, the people who came here are still here to challenge Qinbei. It's just that the last time I came was Body Tempering Realm, and this time I came to the Cultivator of the Foundation Establishment Realm. Among them are the current leaders of the Kangzhou Continent Foundation Establishment Realm, Zhanzong Lingzhanzi and Yi Zhanshou. When Qinbei and Ji Zuyu walked out of the secret realm, the people who were waiting outside the secret realm sent by Sha Huang discovered them immediately. Prince North, Your Majesty let you enter the palace immediately after leaving the secret realm. Kong Yu respectfully greeted Qinbei with a subordinate salute. Then please, Your Majesty has specially arranged a car for you. Kong Yu pointed to the distance and said. Qinbei glanced at it with shock in his eyes. He was very familiar with this car. The real dragon. This is the car that Emperor Sha used when he was still the prince. There are rumors in the royal family that if anyone can be rewarded for this step, it must be the future prince of Sha. Although Emperor Sha has no intention of rewarding him so far. But the prince who can sit on this real dragon must be a strong contender for the future prince candidate. Now Emperor Sha let himself sit down and drive him back to Beijing, obviously telling everyone that his status as Qinbei has been rising, and he is likely to be the future prince. This will give Qinbei some trouble. Qinbei also doesn't like such royal infighting. However, in Qinbei's view, the enjoyment must be enjoyed. Real dragon step, enjoy once but less once. So he took Ji Zuyu's little hand and boarded the real dragon. Set off, go back to Beijing. Kong Yu gave an order, and the guards of hundreds of people rose from the ground and flew to the capital with the real dragon. A real dragon kicks inside. You guys are really rich in resources in Daxia, and such a real dragon is not offered, so it's just used to drive away. Ji Zuyu said with a nice smile. Haven't you ever sat in the footsteps of a real dragon? Qinbei said in surprise. Then he felt that he had lost his words. In my heart, I only remembered the identity of Empress Ji Zuyu, and I forgot that the other party is now marrying myself as Holy Maiden's maid. The envious look of the other party was obviously pretending. However, Ji Zuyu's words surprised Qinbei. Of course not, our country is small, and since spiritual qi is thin, there are not many demonic beasts, and there are even fewer powerful demonic beasts. Don't talk about my identity as a maid. If there is a real dragon in Wu country, even if our empress got it, it is impossible to use it as a mount. After all, if it is cultivated, it is at least the combat power of an immortal king. Quote. Ji Zuyu said it very seriously, obviously. Of course she didn't tell a lie. This is also the first time Qinbei has learned about the state of Wu, Penfun Library. I have always only known that Wu Guo is the superficial vanity of the third dynasty of Kangzhou mainland, but I don't know that Wu Guo has so many difficulties. I really didn't expect this. I always thought that the real dragon step was in every dynasty. Husband is joking, you have always lived in Daxia, or you are the prince of the Daxia royal family. I don't know the lack of resources outside Daxia. If not, how could the Kangzhou continent be in constant war and chaos, just for more cultivation resources? Daxia occupies nearly 80% of the demonic beasts mountains in the entire Kangzhou continent, and the spiritual qi is the most concentrated area in the entire Kangzhou continent. It can be said that the Daxia dynasty occupies more than 50% of the resources of the Kangzhou continent, and the rest has to be protected by the Holy Spirit. Devil Sovereign is 30% toward points, and the remaining 20% was divided up by many sects and dynasties. Although our country is the third dynasty in name, it occupies less than 10% of the resources. So Emperor Sha has the courage to use 9 true dragons as his steps, but my Empress Wu has none. Ji Zuyu's tone was full of envy. Qinbei nodded suddenly. It was the first time he heard about resource allocation. Now it seems that the great Sha dynasty is strong for no reason. You're right, but these resources are accumulated by my Daxia royal family from generation to generation, and we won it in Daxia. Qinbei said seriously. Ji Zuyu smiled sweetly. You're right, so isn't our Wu Guo hugging our thighs? Then you can hug the right person. Saying that, Qinbei took Ji Zuyu into his arms. The real dragon is very fast. It was a 3-hour journey here, but it took less than an hour to reach the capital when I returned. Look, it's the real dragon, and the guards. It must be the North Prince who has returned. He saved so many people this time, and he will definitely get a lot of rewards. Do you think the Emperor will reward this real dragon to Prince Bei? Impossible. This is a symbol of the future crown prince, and it is impossible to give it to the Northern Prince because of this time's credit. That's right, there are too many excellent princes in the royal family. If you want to become a prince, the competition is too great. Quote, but I heard from my father that His Majesty already has the idea of establishing a crown prince. I don't know who can sit in this position. This is related to our entire summer. And this, it's actually going to be a prince. Everyone looked at the real dragon in the sky and talked a lot. Kong Yu, what are these people below? When passing by the Northern Prince's mansion, Qin Bei looked down and saw that his mansion was surrounded by people. He also saw the figure of the old housekeeper, as if to persuade these people to leave. Oh, these are the arrogance of the major forces. They heard that you have completed the Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment in the secret realm, Prince North, so they all want to challenge you. Kong Yu stood outside the real dragon and responded. Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment, who said that? Ah, isn't that right? But Langya Pavilion said when they rank the rankings that your little brother Qinzan has prepared a piece of Heavenly Tao spiritual chi for you. Kong Yu said in surprise. This Langya Pavilion is really well informed. Qin Bei frowned and said, you go and tell the people around the palace that the king is not in the mood to fight with them and let them leave. But, according to the rules of the cultivation world, the top 10 geniuses in the battle list cannot refuse to challenge each other. Kong Yu said with some embarrassment. Who made this rule? Qin Bei asked angrily. No one can decide, but since the Langya Pavilion's list appeared, this is an unwritten rule. Okay, you go and tell them that this king doesn't like unnecessary challenges. If anyone wants to challenge, then prepare spirit stones and challenge 100,000 spirit stones. This, fighting with them without any benefit is not the style of this king. Let them challenge if they want to spend money, and get out if they don't want to. Bring me the original words. Oh yes, Kong Yu's forehead was sweating a little. I have always heard that this Northern Prince has been very arrogant since the incident in the Golden Palace. Not only dare to offend half of the royal family, but now also dare to offend so many sect geniuses. Sure enough, geniuses are eccentric. But think about it, the North Prince saved many sect geniuses. A group of sect elders came to give gifts the other day. It's okay to be arrogant now. Zenlong Zhao is one of the few vehicles that can fly in the palace. There were many guards patrolling along the way, but none of them stepped forward to stop them. So Qin Bei quickly arrived at the palace, and finally came to Ling Fei's residence. Why is your majesty looking so bad recently? Have you encountered any troubles? Ling Fei softly asked while squeezing her shoulders for Emperor Sha. I don't have anything to worry about, it's just that there is some progress in cultivation. That's a good thing, your majesty, you are the backbone of Da Sha. If cultivation base can be improved to a higher level, Da Sha will be more stable, so why is your majesty unhappy? Ling Fei said happily. She entered the palace at the age of 20 and is now 40. I have never heard of Sha Huang's breakthrough on realm for so many years. And this is also quite normal. For a cultivator at the level of Emperor Sha, the time required to take the next step is probably calculated in hundreds of thousands of years, and the resources required are unimaginable. Of course it's a good thing for me to break through, but once I closed door training, I need to devote myself to it, and I can't have an incarnation outside the body. The time of closed door training is also unpredictable. Who will take care of this huge summer? Ling Fei is not stupid either. She immediately understood what Emperor Sha was worried about. If the entire Daxia is a large machine, then the Emperor Sha is the engine. Without Emperor Sha, the machine would have to stop, and no one could replace it. 100 years ago, I closed door training, and the late emperor managed it. Now, alas. Speaking of the first emperor, Sha Huang felt a little uncomfortable. 100 years ago, even though he had exhausted everything in Daxia, he still failed to save the late emperor. This was a thorn in his heart forever. Isn't there an old yin? He has a high prestige. Ling Fei said with a light smile. This old man is too kind. Sha Huang said from a distance. Kindness does not control the army, the eternal truth. Then, Your Majesty, you can't help but break through. Everyone relies on Your Majesty's cultivation base. Yes. Suddenly, Emperor Sha turned to look at Ling Fei, who was gently pinching his shoulders, and said, Concubine I, don't you think the crown prince's position has been vacant for too long? Ling Fei squeezed her shoulders for a while. Prince Li was ordered by Your Majesty. How can a woman dare to talk nonsense? Ha ha ha, I just said that casually. I'm going to scare you. Ling Fei smiled and continued to squeeze the shoulders for Emperor Sha. But she knew in her heart that after so many years, it seemed that Emperor Sha had the idea of establishing a prince. And talk to yourself about it. Obviously, at least one of his 2 sons has the hope of becoming a prince. She was not happy or unhappy in her heart. Because in her heart, the greater the power, the greater the pressure. Compared with the prince, she hopes that her 2 sons will go on according to her own ideas, rather than being bound by a throne. And once the news spreads, the battle for the prince will probably be the most important thing in Da Sha in recent years. She didn't have to think about how fierce the fight was. So she didn't want to have her 2 sons involved in this war. There was nothing wrong with being a dashing prince. At this moment, Qin Bei walked in with Ji Zuyu. My son-in-law pays respects to the father, the mother and the concubine. Ji Yu pays respects to the father, the mother and the concubine. Come on, get up. After seeing Emperor Sha's gesture, Ling Fei hurriedly stepped forward to help Ji Zuyu up. Come on, let me see what's going on. Ling Fei looked at Ji Zuyu carefully and said. How about what? Qin Bei asked suspiciously. Tisk, you kid, what do you say? After that, Ling Fei's face turned pale. Well, it seems that I can't count on you when I want to hold the child. Qin Bei. This. Outrageous. After figuring out the situation, Ji Zuyu's face turned red involuntarily. Let's go, you just came out of the secret realm, the mother-in-law will show you how to dress up. Ling Fei said while pulling Ji Zuyu. The space here is reserved for Qin Bei and Sha Huang. It is good. Ji Zuyu also nodded obediently and followed. After the 2 of them left, Emperor Sha looked at Qin Bei. I don't care what kind of relationship you have with this Ji Yu, but I want to remind you that Mu Jiaoshui must not be left out in the cold. Within 50 years, I hope you can have your first child, and it must be Mu Jiaoshui's child. As soon as he came up, Emperor Sha said seriously. Because in Emperor Sha's view, Mu Jiaoshui is the holy maiden of Wu Kingdom, and if you want to stabilize the relationship, you must tie Mu Jiaoshui. Father, when did you take care of these things? My son wants to have a child with that Mu Jiaoshui, isn't that Mu Jiaoshui still unwilling? So you need to strengthen yourself. There is no woman who doesn't like a good man. When you are good enough, she will give up on you. Qin Bei, isn't my son making progress? That's good. Do you know what I asked you to do? Of course I know that the royal father wants to reward the son. After all, this time the son has made a great contribution. Quote, hey, I think it's quite beautiful, then I will reward you with the real dragon, do you dare to ask for it? Sha Huang asked playfully. Everyone knows what the real dragon drive represents, so even if Emperor Sha wants to give out a reward, many princes are afraid to accept it. Because although they are all princes, some princes have no foundation and dare not participate in the competition for the throne of the prince. Qin Bei belongs to this category of princes. Although Qin Bei recently burst out with cultivation talent, he also made a contribution and became the Prince of Sanyan. But these are only Qin Bei's personal affairs. He has no power or real power in the court at all. Even if he has a relationship with his relatives, he is still a loner after all. What's more, Qin Bei had offended so many people before. Therefore, in the view of Emperor Sha, it is impossible for the shrewd Qin Bei to ask for this hot potato. But the fact surprised him. Qin Bei said confidently, if the royal father is willing to give it, why wouldn't the son-in-law dare to ask for it? I just want to taste the taste of fresh and live real dragon meat. Sha Huang, ha ha ha, good, but I can't give it to you now. If you can comprehend the Void Sutra in the Imperial Mausoleum, I will reward you with this real dragon. How? Then what the emperor means is that there will be no reward for this time, my son. Sha Huang, why can't your focus be normal? Who said there is no reward, and the reward has already been given to you? Qin Bei's eyes lit up. Give it to me. Why didn't I see it? Did it go to the palace? Spirit stones, spirit medicine, divine armament. Sha Huang, it is a reward for you to be driven back by a real dragon. Sha Huang said the truth. Although riding the real dragon is only a formality, it also tells the ministers in the court that Qin Bei has the hope of becoming the prince. In the next time, Qin Bei's mansion gate will definitely be visited by ministers. In this way, Qin Bei, the prince who had no foundation in the court, also had his own foundation. This undoubtedly laid the foundation for Qin Bei's bid for the crown prince. Qin Bei, father, you should have said it earlier, and said earlier that my son will not sit down. It would be nice to exchange it for other rewards. No, I'm talking to you, my chest is tight, I have to hit you twice to let out my breath. I worked so hard for you, but what I got in return was such a disgusting remark. If it was someone else, Sha Huang could really get angry on the spot. Forget it, I will treat you as innocent if you don't know. Let's get down to business, show me the results of your Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment. Every prince who has completed the Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment, Sha Huang will call in front of him and let him show it. One is to understand the strength of these princes after Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment, which is also conducive to his attention to them. Although Emperor Sha is a saint, his energy is also limited. As an emperor, he has so many princes, if every prince pays attention to chatting alone, then he doesn't have to do anything. Although realistic, it is what it is. If it weren't for Qin Bei's outstanding talent, the two would not be able to sit down and talk like this. The second is that after observation, he can give some pointers. As long as the cultivation speed of Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment is not too slow, he will be the backbone of Daxia in the future, so he is willing to spend this time teaching himself. Results. What results? Urchin doesn't have Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment. Qin Bei looked at Emperor Sha with a confused expression. He said this, and directly confused Emperor Sha. What do you mean? The foundation establishment failed, but aren't you the foundation establishment realm 5th stage now? Sha Huang asked. The foundation establishment certainly didn't fail, it's just that Urchin gave the opportunity of Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment to my concubine, Gu. Sha Huang, what did you hear? What kind of wolf word is this? Can you say that again? This. Looking at Sha Huang's amiable face just now, it is now cloudy. Why is this so urgent? Suddenly, Qin Bei felt infinite pressure coming from his body. Then Qin Bei noticed that a force rushed into his body. Instinct resistance, but to no avail. Emperor Sha took a look at Qin Bei's foundation. It is indeed a foundation establishment, but there is no Heavenly Tao aura in the body at all. In other words, Qin Bei didn't lie, he did not finish Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment. Emperor Sha showed a rare angry expression and pointed at Qin Bei, not knowing what to say for a while. Sigh, sure enough, women only affect cultivation, so I shouldn't have given you a marriage in the first place. In Emperor Sha's view, Gu was nothing more than a concubine of Qin Bei. Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment is an opportunity that is not all fulfilled even among the princes who are valued. But Qin Bei gave it to the concubine, and was really carried away by love. Father, in fact, Qin Bei wants to say that own foundation establishment is actually not that bad. Although no one has done it before, Qin Bei firmly believes that certainly no weaker than Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment. But the depressed Sha Huang raised his hand and interrupted him. Forget it, this is your own decision. I will not interfere. The Imperial Mausoleum will be opened in 2 months. At that time, the Imperial family will enter the fairyland below, and people above the Gold Core realm will be able to enter the Imperial Mausoleum to comprehend the nothing, so within these 2 months, you must break through to the Gold Core realm to have the opportunity to enter the Imperial Tomb, otherwise you will have to wait another 2 years. Really, Urchin will go back to prepare, and he will definitely break through the Gold Core state within 2 months. Qin Bei said with joy on his face. After he broke through the foundation establishment realm, he felt that the cultivation technique he practiced was not enough, and he didn't have any powerful supernatural powers. Originally, I wanted to reluctantly exchange the system for a divine cultivation technique, but now I can comprehend the Void Sutra, which is the top cultivation technique of the divine. Humph, why are you so happy? In 2 months, do you think that you, who Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment does not have, will be able to break through to the gold core realm? Sha Huang still felt very uncomfortable. This. Father, don't worry, my son will do something. Qin Bei certainly has a solution. Not to mention that my own body foundation establishment is not weaker than Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment, or even stronger. Even if not, I still have a system. The function of exchanging Krypton gold points for cultivation base has never been used by me. As long as there are Krypton gold points, isn't it a matter of minutes to break through a gold core environment? Come on, I don't want to see you now. Sha Huang waved his hand and said. Looking at Qin Bei for one more minute, he has more desire to beat Qin Bei. To be able to make Sha Huang of Saint Realm so angry, you can think of how irritating Qin Bei's behavior of giving the Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment opportunity to Jizuyu is. The minister went to Shaoxuan there. Go. Qin Bei left. Sha Huang was the only one left in the pavilion and muttered, I can get angry every time. Ha, Your Majesty, don't you also like the character of the North Prince? The old voice sounded, and the shadow of the old man appeared beside Sha Huang. I am afraid that few people in the world can do this kind of affection from the Prince of the North to his concubine. Doesn't His Majesty also appreciate Prince's affection and justice? The old man said with a smile. Old Ying had followed Emperor Sha for so many years, and at a glance he could see that Emperor Sha was really angry just now, but he was full of admiration in his anger. These two brothers have followed their mother and concubine, and they value love and righteousness, and they don't even know the importance. Sha Huang shook his head and said, yeah, it's all with concubine Chen. The old man also sighed. Sha Huang, what do you mean? Are you saying that I am ruthless? This. Your Majesty said it himself. There is no difference between the two when they talk, like chatting with old friends for many years. It's just that the minister doesn't understand, why did His Majesty want to advance the opening of the Imperial Mausoleum to 2 months later? This is a bit embarrassing for Prince Bei. Even if the Prince of the North has completed the Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment, if he wants to complete the foundation establishment within 2 months, he will need the assistance of many medicine pills. Now the Prince of North has not completed the Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment. Even with the assistance of medicine pill, it's impossible to upgrade to the gold core realm in 2 months. Shadow said, somewhat puzzled. Originally, the opening time of the Imperial Mausoleum should be half a year later, but Emperor Sha was forced to move it 3 months earlier, which made him really incomprehensible. I just want him to teach him a lesson. Some things can't be let go. Even if we care about love and righteousness, we have to prioritize. Do you really think I want him to break through gold core in 2 months? Sha Huang said with a sneer. Then what if the Northern Prince really breaks through in 2 months? Hey, if this evil son can really break through within 2 months, I will put the opening time of the Imperial Mausoleum 2 months later. Not only that, I not only allow him to bring the princess into the Imperial Mausoleum, but also allow him to bring the concubine Ji Yu to enter together. Although I don't know the result, I can remember it. Hey, you old boy, what's going on? Ha, to be honest with Your Majesty, I am very interested in the 2 princes, Prince Bei and Qin Zan. What, want to accept an apprentice? I really have such an idea, but the North Prince still forgets it. I feel that I can't hold it back, but Prince Qin Zan wants to give it a try. Sha Huang looked at the shadow in surprise. He just said it casually, but he didn't expect that Ying really had the idea of accepting apprentices. Emperor Sha thought of something and took a deep look at the shadow. Then he chuckled and said, okay, you're getting old too, it's time for someone to pass on your legacy. Your Majesty is wise. Shadow saluted respectfully and said solemnly. You sent someone to stare at Prince Dianbei's mansion. He hasn't completed Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment, and his strength is probably not as good as that of the Sword Sect person. Don't make an accident. Also, be careful that his cultivation has gone wrong in order to break through as soon as possible and be eager for quick success. Sha Huang ordered. Don't worry, Your Majesty, Ying Bai will follow, there will be no problem. Ying smiled, and sure enough Qin Bei's affectionate behavior was reprimanded by Emperor Xia, but it made Emperor Xia more interested. At least the other princes who are competing for the crown prince position have not been reminded by Emperor Xia. Qin Bei didn't go to Jizuyu after he left, but went straight to Qin Zan's place. When I arrived, I saw that Qin Zan was still meditating in cultivation, thinking that it was a stable cultivation base. After feeling Qin Bei's breath, Qin Zan also immediately quit cultivation. Elder brother, Qin Bei smiled, spread his arms, and lifted Qin Zan, who was rushing towards him, up high. Qin Zan doesn't seem like a child in front of others, but in front of Qin Bei, he is a clingy 10-year-old child. After the two chatted for a while, Qin Bei looked at Qin Zan solemnly. Xiao Zan, there is something I have to tell you. What? The heavenly Tao spiritual qi you prepared for brother gave to your sister-in-law. Qin Bei's words were hesitant. Qin Zan finally found heavenly Tao spiritual qi for himself, but he gave it to others without his consent. Although Qin Bei had a better choice, he still felt a little guilty. He thought he would see loss and anger on Qin Zan's little face. However, Qin Zan only smiled after being stunned for a second. Do you have a better foundation establishment way, big brother? Looking at Qin Zan with a look of anticipation, Qin Bei couldn't hold back. Rubbing Qin Zan's fleshy face, he said with a smile, really, my brother's foundation establishment is definitely more powerful than Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment. When the time comes, your brother and I will definitely be number one on the foundation establishment realm's power list. Really? That's great. Let's go. Brother will take you to Luofeng Tower for a walk. No, I'm still young, and the mother-in-law said that I can't go to that kind of place. Who said that? Love is to be cultivated from an early age, believe me, let's go. Then, that's fine too. Luofenglo is full of women. But it's not a vulgar place. The girls inside are all talented girls who are proficient in piano, chess, calligraphy and painting. Of course, beauty is also essential. It is one of the favorite places for the children of the powerful in the capital to go. After all, if you are willing to spend money, there is still a chance to kiss Fang Zi. Of course, Qin Bei went to spend spirit stones to earn Krypton gold points. But before that, he needs to make a trip to the Royal Family Magic Library. Cultivation technique he is not ready to change now, but he needs supernatural power now. The battle for the foundation establishment realm is no longer the way it once was, and can be won by sheer force. The use of spiritual qi has become more and more important. The cultivation of supernatural powers and cultivation technique has become very important. Can even become. Yage evaluates the basis of a cultivator. Xiaoxuan, you probably haven't practiced powerful supernatural powers, have you? No, the strongest thing I have right now is the martial skill, which isn't even a supernatural power. Qin Zan shook his head and said, martial skill and supernatural power are actually the same. It's just that everyone is accustomed to calling the martial skill that has reached the divine level as a magical power. And Qin Bei's extremely cold gaze is a supernatural power that has surpassed the divine and reached the immortal. Then let's go to the selected martial skill. Okay. Compared with Luofenglo, Qin Zan obviously wants to go to the martial skill library. The royal family's martial skill library is located in the royal palace. Not only that, there are cultivation fields, weapons warehouses, spiritual medicine warehouses, medicine pill rooms, etc. in the huge palace. All of these things about cultivation are outside the palace, but they are also within the palace walls, guarded by the janissaries. Today's martial skill library is more lively than usual. Because of the royal family members who came out of the secret realm, their own cultivation base has also stabilized these days. After completing the foundation establishment, the first thing every cultivator thinks of is to practice cultivation technique and magical powers. Little brother, this princess has already made up her mind. I want that Katkin movement technique. With your ability, it shouldn't be difficult for my sister to get a martial skill of the highest grade for me, right? Princess Linger also came today. Although she pays more attention to her own appearance, she has not given up on cultivation. Royal rules: anyone who wants to practice magical powers has to fight for it by himself. It is impossible for me to cheat for you, Qin Chen said with an expressionless face. Tisk, it's fine if you don't say it quietly. Anyway, this is an unwritten rule in the royal family. Who cares how the supernatural power was obtained? You didn't win it yourself. Even if I get it for you, you won't be able to learn the essence. Sister, you must do things according to your ability. You are cruel. Princess Ling'er's angry nose was upturned. Is there anything more incomprehensible in the royal family than this little brother? At this moment, she found that the people around her were all looking in one direction and pointing at something. Look, is that the North Prince? It's him. I saw him once in the secret realm, so handsome. Yeah, when the demonic beasts were going to kill us, the North Prince fell from the sky, not to mention how handsome. When can I become one with the Prince of the North? It's good to be strong. Quote, many princes and princesses were talking about it. Most of them come out of the secret realm. The back of Qin Bei's rescue is still fresh in his memory. They are still children under the age of 20, and they are very longing for heroes. Brother, look, that's what caused us to lose the northern prince assigned by spirit stones. Princess Linger grabbed Qin Chen and said, that's you, not us. My allocation can still be received every year. You. ... Sister Linger. From a distance, Qin Zan saw Princess Linger and Qin Chen, and hurriedly waved to say hello. Qin Bei, seeing Princess Linger looking at him indignantly, he knew that the girl was still holding grudges about what happened last time. Isn't this our great hero, the Prince of the North? What, the Emperor didn't reward you with magical powers? Do you have to fight for it yourself? Princess Linger had a smile on her face. She didn't know what she was thinking. The supernatural powers of the royal family are all earned by themselves, not by rewards, but the last time this king set an example and put an end to extravagance, the royal father rewarded me a lot, 2 million spirit stones per month. Qin Bei wasn't the one who suffered the loss either, so he went back on the spot with sarcasm. Are you mad at me? Sister Linger, don't be angry, I'll ask my brother to help you get any magical powers you want. Qin Zan took Princess Linger's hand and said with a sway. Real. Princess Linger immediately performed a wave of what is called an instant face change. Of course it's true, right, brother? Yes, but you have to collect money. Martial skill will sell you 100,000 spirit stones. Make a deal. Princess Linger was afraid of Qin Bei's repentance, so she immediately took out a Chenkin bag and handed it to Qin Bei. There are only a lot of 100,000 spirit stones in here, it's up to you, brother. Qin Bei, the price is low. Seeing this scene, everyone around felt that Qin Bei was careless. 100,000 spirit stones can be exchanged for martial skill, and everyone present wants to exchange it. Let's go, the martial skill is not so easy to get. Qin Chen looked at Qin Bei and said lightly. There was still no expression on his face. For Qin Chen, who had not met a few times, Qin Bei also knew that the other party was a boring calabash, and he only focused on cultivation. If the other party smiled at him, he would doubt whether Qin Chen had a conspiracy. The royal family's martial skill library has a total of 9 floors. It is not like a regular sect. Cultivation techniques are placed in it for anyone to choose. Here, even the most common character cultivation technique has seal protection. There are only 2 ways to get it. 1. Enter the martial skill library, stand in front of the cultivation technique you want. If it can resonate, the seal will be lifted automatically. This is also the easiest way for members of the royal family to obtain the cultivation technique. However, the disadvantage is that a person can only feel it once a month. If you like 2 magical powers at the same time, you need to wait for the next month to try again. And the time for comprehension is limited. In many cases, a member of the royal family needs to comprehend the same cultivation technique or supernatural power for several months in order to obtain a favorite cultivation technique or supernatural power. The second method is much simpler and cruder, but more difficult than the first method. That is to challenge the town magic tower. The Devil's Tower has always been at the center of the martial skill library. There are a total of 9 floors of the Demon Tower, and the higher the level of cultivation technique that can be obtained with each floor. The most important thing is that once you pass through the Town Magic Tower, you can choose the cultivation technique martial skill as you like, whichever you want to practice. The 9th floor Town Magic Tower corresponds to the 9th floor martial skill library. However, compared to the second method, the royal family is more keen on the first method. Although it is not possible to achieve the freedom of cultivation technique, at least it can still cultivate stably. If you go to the town magic tower, it is no different from self-mutilation in everyone's opinion. In addition to Qin Chen's cultivation madness, more princes and princesses in the royal family are still loyal to stable cultivation. Choose yourself to comprehend or to break through the tower. As soon as Qin Bei and the others arrived in front of the gate of the martial skill library, a lazy little old man lying on a rocking chair with a wine jug in his hand said, "Elder Ju, I choose to break into the tower." Qin Chen showed a rare expression and said respectfully to the old man, "Huh, it's you again, is your injury healed?" "It's just a minor injury, a few days are enough to recover." Zhu Lao glanced at Qin Chen, and then said lightly, "Well, go in with the jade slip yourself." Tisk tisk, brother Qin Chen is indeed a cultivation madman. I thought I would have to rest for at least a month from the last injury, but it's here again in less than 7 days. What a lunatic. But he has already passed the 4th floor. I don't know if he can challenge the 5th floor this time. From the last experience, it is still very hopeful. If it passes, it will also break the record for the fastest passing through the 5th floor. Quote, "This record has remained unchanged for 100 years, right? Is there really hope?" Everyone around was talking about it. Qin Chen was quite well known in the royal family. Most people regard him as their own benchmark. "Prince North, I'll go first." Qin Chen ignored others and just said to Qin Bei. Qin Bei also just nodded with a smile and responded to the other party. The brief exchange between the two really left those present stunned. It stands to reason that the two are now popular figures among the princes, and there should be some grievances between the two. In everyone's opinion, it is not bad that the two are not opposed to each other. No one expected such a harmonious situation at all. But how do they know the idea of genius? Although Qin Bei had not met Qin Chen a few times, but he was too familiar with the name Qin Chen. Whether it's a kiss, or a provocation from the Holy Devil Sovereign, or I hear the minister talking on weekdays, Qin Chen's name seems to be wandering around him. And when he crossed over and rose up, many people began to compare themselves with Qin Chen. Even though his own light has become dazzling, in the eyes of most people, Qin Chen's light far surpasses himself. Qin Bei ignored it before because there was no chance, but now the Zhenmo Tower has become an opportunity for him to break the shackles. "Zhu Lao, I also choose to go through the barrier." Qin Zan stepped forward and said. Zhu Lao took a sip of wine and glanced at Qin Zan. Then he said lightly, "You are not allowed to enter the tower under the age of 12. If your highness wants to enter the tower, you should wait another 2 years. I already have actual combat experience, and the emperor said that I can break into the tower." Qin Zan said firmly, "Okay, take it, drop the blood in, and yours." Zhu Lao didn't say much. He threw 2 jade slips and landed in front of Qin Zan and Qin Bei respectively. Obviously, Zhu Lao knew that Qin Bei was also going to break into the tower without asking. Just do your best to break into the tower for the first time. Don't be brave. Once you are injured, call Master Tu Ling immediately, and he will send you out safely. Zhu Lao, as usual, instructed the two who had broken into the tower for the first time. "Thank you for the reminder." After Qin Bei and Qin Zan thanked them, they walked straight to the Demon Suppression Pagoda. "Prince North, remember our deal, you must pass through the 4th floor, or 100,000 souls. She can be returned to me." Quote, Princess Linger shouted loudly from behind. Everyone around looked at her and felt that Princess Linger was thinking too much. 4th floor, hasn't anyone who rushed through the 4th floor for the first time? Linger, do you think it's okay to make a deal in front of me? Ju's old words were scolding, but his eyes were full of doting. Master, just pretend that you haven't seen anything and it's over. Princess Linger pinched her shoulders for Zhu Lao coquettishly. The surrounding princes and princesses are all envious. At this moment, a voice came from the town magic tower. Prince Qin Chen, nascent soul 9th stage, the 100th time to enter the tower begins. As soon as the voice came out, the princes who were watching outside were a little surprised. Because Qin Chen was only the 8th stage in the Gold Core realm a few days ago, he didn't expect to break through these days. It's no wonder that his injury recovered so quickly. It turned out to be the reason for breakthrough. It's too ruthless, it hurts like that, and you can break through. Tisk tisk, as expected of a cultivation fanatic. Then the voice sounded several times, all of them were the princes and princesses who chose to break into the tower. Soon, they also heard the names of Qin Bei. Prince Qin Bei, Foundation Establishment Realm 5th Stage, the first time to break into the tower begins. Prince Qin Zan, Foundation Establishment Realm 2nd Stage, the first time to break into the tower begins. ... I didn't see it before, the Northern Prince's cultivation speed is so fast, it's only been less than 3 months, right? It's all the way from Body Tempering Realm to Foundation Establishment Realm 5th Stage. This is the effect of accumulation. After all, it has been accumulated for 20 years, but it is unlikely that he wants to maintain this speed in the future. Even so, I'm still very optimistic about the North Prince breaking into the tower. He should be able to reach the 3rd floor. Zan, after all, this is the first time to break into the tower, and I have no experience at all, and the person who can reach the 3rd floor is undoubtedly not the person who controls many martial skills. The North Prince seems to have a supernatural power. What are you talking about today? Just a magical power. Did you have it when you were at the Foundation Establishment Realm? No. Master, what do you think of the North Prince? Can you get past the 4th floor? I can rely on him for my Katkin movement technique. I don't know if he can break through. I only know that he must break through before you. The old man said leisurely. HMPH, I won't make you whine. Princess Linger felt humiliated and turned her head away angrily. The inside of the town magic tower is very large. Qin Bei and Qin Zan entered the 1st floor at the same time, but they were separated after entering. Everyone who breaks the tower has their own area. As for what will happen, only the artifact spirit of the town magic tower knows. Qin Bei began to observe after entering the inside of the town magic tower. He found himself in a large room with a door in the distance. That should be the door to the 2nd floor. Just as Qin Bei was observing, a phantom suddenly appeared in front of him. Tier 1. Defeat 10 of the same realm Devil Cultivator. After saying this, the phantom disappeared. Then, Qin Bei felt 10 auras appearing around him. Both are Foundation Establishment Realm 5th Stage. It's no wonder that the royal family is reluctant to come to the tower. I am afraid that this 1st floor will be difficult for many people. Qin Bei looked at the 10 figures in front of him and muttered to himself. But this is a trivial matter for Qin Bei. Not to mention 10 of the same realm, even 1,000 of the same realm will only take a little more effort. Kill. 10 figures rushed towards Qin Bei at the same time. In the face of this kind of attack, Qin Bei went straight to the front, but after a few breaths, he rushed towards the 10 figures and was crushed by him. At the same time, outside the town magic tower. Look, this tower breaking speed list has been refreshed. What, could it be that Qin Chen has gone further? It's not Qin Chen, it's Qin Bei. He refreshed the speed of the 1st floor tower. Isn't this record left by the Emperor? It's actually broken. Sigh. When they saw this result, everyone took a deep breath. The records left by Emperor Xia have been kept for an unknown number of years, and all princes want to make breakthroughs. But no one can do it, not even Qin Chen. But now, Qin Bei, who broke through the barrier for the first time, has actually made a breakthrough. This. Outrageous. Wow, the North Prince is very powerful. It seems that there is still a lot of hope for breaking through the 4th floor. Princess Linger said with stars in her eyes. Zhu Lao glanced at her and shook his head. This girl is like this. She hated Qin Bei a second ago. But it is precisely because of this character that Princess Linger can be so favored. He is the one who occupied the 1st place in the 2 combat power lists. Even though it's now the Foundation Establishment realm, it's no surprise that the fight against the realm is so quick. Quote. Zhu Lao shook his head and said. The real test is yet to come. Inside the town magic tower. Qin Bei, who smashed the enemy, quickly came to the gate, and after entering, it was another place. The same as the phantom that appears. Tier 2. Defeat the 100 Foundation Establishment Realm Peak Devil Cultivator. Qin Bei asked in surprise, is the 2nd floor so fierce? Is it the same difficulty for others to break through? Qin Bei is more concerned about this issue. If this is the case, then Qin Chen is a little terrified. Nascent Soul 2nd stage, wouldn't there be more than 100 devil cultivators from the Nascent Soul 5th stage on the 2nd floor? And the other party can actually break into the 5th floor, what kind of metamorphosis is that? This time, the virtual shadow did not announce the news after the mission, but also responded after hearing Qin Bei's question. In the Devil Town Tower, everyone's situation is different. The level of difficulty is determined by the strength displayed by the upper level. You are the first person to meet 100 devil cultivators at the same level on the 2nd level. Although the phantom did not show any emotion, but Qin Bei felt that the other party was making fun of him. Cooperating with your own performance on the previous level is too fierce. Who was the hardest before? Qin Bei asked curiously. Your father. He met 10 devil cultivators from the same realm, and he passed through once. Oh, you don't have to think about hiding your strength. It's useless. When you stepped into the magic tower, you were already destined to have this level of difficulty. The only thing you can do is to try your best to rush through every level, don't play tricks. How do you know what I'm thinking? Because everyone who comes in for the first time thinks so. Qin Bei, good luck. Rarely, this time the ghost showed a smile, and then disappeared. The peak of the 100 Foundation Establishment realm, with this level of difficulty, no one else would be able to break through the level of exhaustion. But for Qin Bei, who was able to run after the 2 4th order peak demonic beasts, the peak of the 100 Foundation Establishment realm was the same thing, and at most it was a waste of time. Kill! Hundreds of devil cultivators roared and rushed towards Qin Bei. Qin Bei was also not used to them, and he raised his hand to destroy these opponents. However, he found something different about his body. Artifact, you suppress. Why didn't I tell you earlier about my spiritual qi? Quote. Qin Bei immediately understood what was going on and wanted to scold his mother for a while. No one has ever suppressed spiritual qi on the 2nd floor before. I forgot to tell you that it's normal. Qi Ling's voice is righteous and assertive, as if it's Qin Bei's fault for being too perverted. But for Qin Bei, dealing with cultivators below the gold core level is the same with or without spiritual qi. Even if 100 Foundation Establishment realm peaks, they can still be broken. So this layer just consumed a little of Qin Bei's physical strength. When Qin Bei entered the 3rd floor of the Town Demon Tower, everyone in the outside world was surprised to find that Qin Bei had once again refreshed the speed of the 2nd floor. This is Qin Bei trying to dominate the list. Strong. It's no wonder that Langya Pavilion has the confidence to place him at the top of the battle power list. He truly deserves his name. If he can break through the 5th floor in one fell swoop, then he will set a new record in an all-round way, and the Emperor will have to be suppressed by him. Impossible. It's the first time that the father broke into the tower to reach the 5th floor. Although he didn't break through it, it was already the most powerful one since the existence of the Demon Town Tower. How could this record be broken? Then the father's speed is still the most powerful, isn't this also broken? When you say that, I suddenly feel that Qin Bei can really break this record. Inside the town magic tower. The ghost appeared again. Tier 3. Defeat the top 100 Foundation Establishment Realm Devil Cultivator. Qin Bei. Is this floor different from the previous floor? Of course not, this time your power will disappear. As soon as the phantom voice fell, Qin Bei felt that something had left him. That is the physical strength he has always relied on. Qin Bei was surprised. He didn't expect that the Demon Suppression Tower would be able to deprive his own physical power, which was too perverted. Pen Fun Library. The biggest reliance on his own fighting is that his physical strength is dozens of times stronger than his peers. Now that he is completely suppressed and can only use spiritual qi, Qin Bei is still a little unaccustomed to it. However, he also understood that the Demon Suppression Tower wanted to test whether he could be so invincible after putting aside his proud physical strength. Since you want to see it, then I'll let you see it. Qin Bei laughed and said boldly. He Qin Bei, not only one ability is invincible, but invincible in all aspects. Although Qin Bei has already broken through the Foundation Establishment realm, in the secret realm, whether it is against monsters or against demonic beasts, he uses more physical power. After all, even the demonic beasts of the 4th order peak couldn't handle his pure physical strength. In contrast, without the martial skill, spiritual Qi's lethality is less prominent. However, this does not mean that he does not pay attention to the use of spiritual Qi, nor does it mean that he does not have that ability. Don't forget, compared to pure recklessness in power, he also has a magical power that everyone envies. Chilling stare. This is an immortal supernatural power. Even if he from the Foundation establishment realm cannot fully exert his power, with the assistance of double pupils, the lethality he uses is no weaker than his physical power. Even stronger. When the phantom of the artifact disappeared, the Devil Cultivator, the peak of the 100 Foundation establishment realm, appeared. They were like fighting machines, attacking Qin Bei immediately. The phantom of the artifact has always been watching the battle in the dark. After all, in this fight, if death is the real death, so everyone who breaks the tower will be protected. Hundreds of Foundation establishment realm peak Devil Cultivator attacks were already in front of Qin Bei, but Qin Bei did not move at all. As if not responding. No, even if the physical strength is gone, it won't be such a waste, right? When did the royal family have such an extreme prince? Qi Ling thought about it this way, and thought that Qin Bei was specializing in body training and would not use spiritual Qi's cultivator at all. There is indeed such a cultivation world, and once such a person becomes strong, he is an invincible existence. Forget it, give him another challenge next time. Thinking about it, Qi Ling was ready to disperse Devil Cultivator and save Qin Bei. But he only made a move, and the next second he froze in place. Qin Bei didn't make any moves when the Devil Cultivators rushed up. He just slowly closed his eyes. All the while, he hasn't really used double pupils and chilling gaze at the same time. This time, he wanted to see how far Jihan gazing could go with the boost of double pupils. When Qin Bei opened his eyes again, a vision suddenly appeared in his pupils. This time it was no longer the simple flash of white light as before. A complex rune flew out of Qin Bei's pupils. The next moment, vision occur. Pieces of white snowflakes floated up in the dark tower of Demon Town. The next instant the snowflakes fell on Devil Cultivator's body, his entire body instantly froze. Not only that, but the spiritual Qi attacks from the Devil Cultivators rushing in front were also frozen just before they touched Qin Bei. Freeze spiritual Qi. The spirit of the tool in the dark was extremely shaken. Spiritual Qi is as insubstantial as air. Freeze it. How could this be possible for a small Foundation establishment cultivator? But no matter how unbelievable he is, the facts are in front of him. In the blink of an eye, the entire space was frozen. Spike. Qin Bei walked slowly towards the gate leading to the 4th floor. Crunch. Qin Bei pushed open the door and entered, looking very calm. Artifact. Did he not use up such a strong blow? Outside world. As expected, Qin Bei once again refreshed the clearance time of the 3rd floor. It's just that when they saw the customs clearance time, they all fell into deep suspicion. One breath. Am I really reading it right? What the hell? It's beyond my knowledge to pass through the first layer of 3 breaths. This 3rd layer is even more difficult. How can time become 1 breath? Instant kill. No, isn't the 3rd layer very simple? How could it be easy? My difficulty is only heaven, and I've been stuck on the 3rd floor for a year. Lord Artifact actually let me, a Gold Core 2nd stage player, defeat 5 Gold Core 5th stage Devil Cultivators. Quote. Then what difficulty level will Qin Bei be? Isn't it a mortal level like Qin Chen? How is this possible? The 3rd level of this difficulty can still achieve instant kills. Is there anyone in the cultivation world who can do it? Everyone couldn't figure out how Qin Bei could kill the enemy in seconds. Even more unexpected, after Qin Bei came out of the tower, the reported difficulty level was the only one so far. Inside the town magic tower. After seeing Qin Bei on the 4th floor, the puzzled spirit finally couldn't help but let it go. I thought you really didn't consume it. So you came here to recover. The phantom of the 4th layer artifact appeared again, and Qin Bei, who was sitting at the lotus position in front of him, said with a smile. Young people just love to be handsome. Qin Bei was a little embarrassed. On the 4th floor, he found that his body had been hollowed out. Spiritual Qi is running low, so I want to recover as soon as possible and make it to the 4th floor. Don't be white. It takes a lot of effort. In this town magic tower, you can restore your stamina at most, and it is impossible to directly restore the consumption of spiritual qi, because there is no spiritual qi in it. Quote. Qi Ling kindly reminded. What? How do I get through this floor? What does it have to do with me? Who made you look handsome? Qin Bei. The first time to break into the tower is really inexperienced, and I don't know that spiritual qi can't be recovered. If I knew it earlier, it would come slowly. Tier 4 Challenge. Defeat a Gold Core Peak Devil Cultivator. When he saw a figure in a black robe and a long knife in his hand emerge from the darkness, Qin Bei knew that it was a tough battle. He now doesn't have enough spiritual qi to use Frigid Gaze. That is to say, he has no way to limit the opponent's speed. Not only that, but even double pupils can't be used. There is no way to clearly see the opponent's attack weaknesses, and it is impossible to prescribe the right medicine. These two major advantages in a cross-border battle are gone. That is to say, to fight against the Gold Core Peak Cultivator in front of him, he can only rely on the physical strength that is not optimal. This difficulty is not ordinary small. The battle that followed was not what Qin Bei had expected. Without the assistance of the cold gaze, Qin Bei truly saw the speed of the peak of the Gold Core realm. This is not at all comparable to Qin Bei, the Foundation Establishment realm. Every attack of the opponent is fast, accurate and ruthless. Qin Bei didn't have time to dodge. The only thing that gave Qin Bei any hope of victory was that the opponent had never used a powerful supernatural power. They are all fighting against their own strength. This gave Qin Bei the confidence to continue. After hundreds of rounds of fighting, Qin Bei couldn't count how many times he was cut. If it wasn't for the undead phoenix body that could quickly heal his wounds, he would have died by now. Well, sure enough, there is a special cultivation body, but this cultivation body is really strong and a little perverted. The recovery ability is so fast, and the power seems to be inexhaustible. Qin Bei's ongoing battle also shocked Qi Ling again. This young prince is the strongest fighting force he has ever seen since his existence. Moreover, the opponent was repelled again and again, and the perseverance of rushing forward again and again was exactly the same as that of a person in another space in the town magic tower. They're all lunatics. It seems that Da Sha's wish to rush out of the Kangzhou continent is about to come true. The spirit muttered to himself. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.